The Iranian Islamic regime are losing control of the country as the uprising escalates. Now we are seeing the presenters of Iran's state TV quitting and defecting to the people. Step by step, people in Iran are getting closer to their freedom, and nothing is guaranteed, no one to be complacent. But at the same time, while the Western establishment, Western media are not really concerned about what's going on in Iran, considering that the current regime in Iran was backed by CIA and MI6 in 1979, of course, they're not going to be interested in actually having any change in Iran. They would rather have a weak enemy in Iran than an independent ally that could become so strong that you can't really be their puppet master. Now that's the reality, and of course, the 1950s when CIA did that coup in Iran, that backfired. So they're also scared of any intervention. The latest that we now have from Iran is that the Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting, this is the longest name. You think the BBC's name is long? Look at this one. IRIB. That is basically the mouthpiece of the regime. It's completely controlled, the narrative and everything else. Again, you think the BBC is bad, but that was a joke. They have now seen a number of their presenters defecting, resigning in solidarity with the protesters and revolutionaries in Iran. So this is quite interesting because they've been telling their broadcasters and presenters to call the protesters rioters or pawns of the West. This is the new narrative that comes from Tehran. The Iranian regime are saying America is behind this uprising. The thing is, over the years, this propaganda was successful enough. There are so many people who fell for this over the years, saying, "Oh, protests in Iran, CIA. No. CIA were on the side of the regime, not the protesters." Just because the Ayatollah, Supreme Leader in Iran, says something, doesn't mean you have to believe it. It's them. They are spreading this fucking brainwashing propaganda. Nobody actually cares about doing critical thinking anymore. There's no critical thinking. Everyone's ready to be brainwashed. And now people are saying, oh, the World Economic Forum are entering Iran. The World Economic Forum is not going to enter. I'm getting sick and tired of debunking these theories. But the names of their presenters, Babad Babai, Mohammad Hosni, and Majid Ghazanfari, these guys have all resigned in solidarity when it comes to the Iranian protesters. It's not the first time something's happened to the Iran state television. A couple of days ago, we actually had the Iranian Anonymous group hacking the Iran's state TV as well, which was absolutely hilarious. It was during one of the flagship news programs, prime time, when they were showing the Supreme Leader. The screen suddenly changed, and this is what they showed. Pictures of some of the victims of this uprising, the young women who have lost their lives, and at the top of the page, you can actually see the Supreme Leader and a bit of a target on his face and fire around him. So this is a massive direct threat and warning to the regime. It is what it is, but this uprising will continue. The mainstream media will continue to ignore it properly. You have sometimes BBC Radio 4 talking about some of the aspects, and you can see in the corner of BBC website's page something about it, but not really proper updates. But that's why I'm going to be trying my best on this channel and on Twitter and Instagram as well to give you guys all the updates from that, because it's not just a random country that has nothing to do with us. It's not like if something happens somewhere in South Korea, this has a direct consequence on what's going on in this country. You get rid of the Iranian regime, you will get rid of Hamas and Hezbollah, and some peace will come into the Middle East, which means our interests will be protected as well. We're going to come back in half an hour. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to tell you about what's going on the streets of London. They just stop oil. Spoiled militant kids who have now been arrested by the people of this country. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.